NetsBoy, so let's hear what he has to say. His name is NetsBoy, he thinks the world is all over when the Nets just can't play. What up, Net fans? NetsBoy here. Bring your latest in your Brooklyn Nets news. All right, so a 1-2 start is not really what this here Nets fan really was expecting for the Nets to start off the season, and I'm gonna be honest, it's very disappointing. The Nets just they're just not there. You know, they're just not a full cohesive team right now, and a lot of that can obviously be chalked up to the fact that there's a lot of new players and a lot of new moving parts and a new focal point in Kyrie Irving. So, but they just don't seem like a fully functional, fluid team. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in the episodes, mostly when we talk about the Grizzlies game. But I just want to start off with Kyrie Irving. I freaking love Kyrie. I mean, I really do. I mean, from the beginning of the tip-off against the Timberwolves, heck, even before that, when he's doing, the talking to the fans, you get this feeling that Kyrie legitimately is in a good place mentally and emotionally and really wants to be here. Like, he wants to be a Brooklyn Net. He wants this. He didn't really want this situation in Boston. He just kind of made the most of it because it was what it was. He wants this. And because of that, he's playing with a level of passion and intensity that I don't think I've ever seen him play when he was in Boston or in Cleveland. Like, he's just playing his heart out. And to drop 50 points in the first game, follow that up by 26, then 37, he is just incredible. And I said this in one of my old NetsBoy episodes. I said, I'm going to miss D'Angelo Russell until probably the first game of the season when I see Kyrie Irving play. And I'm going to say, D'Angelo who? And sure enough, that's the way I feel right now. D'Angelo who? Who's he? Because Kyrie is just that much better, just that much exciting of a player. Now, I know there's a lot of still negativity out there, and to me, it's comical that some writers out there, mostly, Boston writers, who are saying like, oh, the Nets are 1-2. It's all Kyrie Irving's fault. He's too ball dominant. There's no fluidity to the offense. He's talking about how the team is young and needs to improve. Sound familiar? Sounds like he's just the classic Boston Kyrie. The Nets aren't going to make the playoffs. Shut the heck up. Like, seriously, shut up. It's 3 games in. Kyrie has looked amazing. Yes, is he a little too ball dominant? Yeah, I think so. I think the whole entire Nets offense is too ball dominant, which we'll also discuss a little bit later on in the video. But it's 3 games in the season. Come on. You can't look too much into 3 games in the season right now. Anything. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm disappointed the Nets start off 1-2, but I ain't going to worry about the Nets struggling this year until we're at least a month in. If we're a month down the road and the Nets are under 500, okay, then I'll worry. But come on, just relax. It's just a lot of people wanting to hate on Kyrie, especially, people from, Boston or Celtics fans, because they want to villainize him, and I understand that, people do that all the time. But I'm telling you right now, I don't see any problem with Kyrie. Yes. Does he need to be a little bit more fluid in the offense, a little less more ball? Yeah, yes. Like I said, the whole Nets offense needs to be. I said that. And we're like, it's just, Kyrie is just, literally Kyrie is, since the Nets have moved to Brooklyn, Kyrie Irving is hands down, with no argument, the most talented player to step foot on the Brooklyn Nets court as a Brooklyn Net. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Kyrie Irving is a top 10 player in this league. Okay? And when he's rolling like he's rolling right now, he's a top 5 player in this league. Okay? He just lay off him, all right? And I'm so pleased with him. And, at first I wasn't like everybody, I kind of hated on Kyrie. And I will say this is my biggest knock on Kyrie. And this is me talking to Kyrie Irving right now. If Kyrie Irving will ever watch a NetsBoy episode, which I strongly doubt. Kyrie, I have one problem with you. Just one problem. Because and this is my problem with you, Kyrie. You're a Nets fan, and I understand that what I'm about to say factors in more of the fact of, you are currently played with this guy. This guy was playing when you were playing. But if you were really a Net fan, and obviously you can't really be a fan of a team while you're playing in the league and not on that team, but you respect Nets history, I assume, right? Why'd you choose number 11? That's Brook Lopez's number. That's Brook Lopez. And I get it. You were 11 on the Celtics, all right? But weren't you number 2 with the Cavs? Okay, Taurean Prince is there, but why 11? I mean, I know that's his number. That's been his number. It was his number throughout a lot of his life, but I don't know. Have a little respect for. Unfortunate. I don't know if it's unfortunate or not. But Brook Lopez is the point scoring leader with the Nets. He's the all-time point scorer, points leader in franchise history. So you're going to say that you grew up a Nets fan, so why don't you respect the all-time points leader, but just be just choose a different number. This is Brook's number. Come on. That's my only problem with Kyrie, and it's a very personal problem. I think very few people have an issue with Kyrie being 11, but my whole thing is Brook Lopez is an all-time Net. He is. At the end of the day, whether however good he is or whatever it is, at the end of his career, Brook Lopez is an all-time Net. He always will be an all-time Net until some other player comes out of nowhere. But at the end of the day, he's an all-timer. Respect the history. Respect the Lopez. And obviously, a big factor is the fact Brook Lopez still plays. Heck, if I'm not mistaken, Kyrie Irving and Brook Lopez might have been in the same draft class. I actually am not sure about that. I have to check, but it's if not 1 or 2 years apart. So I understand that. That's just my only real personal problem with Kyrie Irving. Is just he shouldn't have been number 11. I'm sorry. Don't be number 11. Be number 1. D'Angelo Russell was number 1. Yeah, he was good, but he was good for a year. I know Taurean Prince is number 2, but couldn't you have been number 1? Besides, I feel like number 1 fit better with Kyrie Irving, But that's my only real problem with Kyrie Irving, though. Everything else about him, I love it. I love it. He's become one of my favorite players. So much to the point that I might either get a Kyrie Irving jersey or I'll just... No, that's blasphemy. I was going to say, just stick over the top Irving over Lopez. But that's real blasphemy. I'd be a huge hypocrite after I'm yelling about Kyrie about the jersey and then I just take Lopez's and Irving. But still, I mean, look, all the haters, all the Boston writers and this and that talking crap about Kyrie, about how he's a ball-dominant player and how the Nets won't succeed with him because, he's going to, stunt the growth of the development of the players like he did in Boston and that the Nets are going to struggle. I'm not buying it. Yes, they're 1 and 2, but I'm not buying it, okay? Kyrie, other than the Lopez thing and the jersey thing, right now I've got no gripes with you at all. I wish you hit that game-winning shot, but you dropped 50 and you played your heart out and you made a great play at the end despite falling down and almost made the shot. You hit the big game against the Knicks. Look, he scored 50, 26, and 37 in the first 3 games. You go. Keep it going. But now, that's the good thing. That's the positives. That's what the biggest positives of the start of the first 3 games is Kyrie Irving. Now let's look at the negatives. Well, like I said, a 1 and 2 start's not what I was hoping. But I'm just going to really talk about the Grizzlies game because that is pretty much the personification of all the problems that the Nets have seen so far in the first 3 games. Problem number 1. This team can't play defense. They can't play defense. It's as simple as that. Now, a lot of times that's because there's a lot of new players. And as we know, defense is more about team defense than individual defense. The best defensive teams usually play well together as a unit. And I think that's part of it. The Nets have to figure it out. But they're letting too many easy baskets, too many easy points. There's not enough double teaming on the good players. And they're just making a lot of mistakes on the defensive end. And that's the first thing I see. Nets need to learn how to play some defense. Okay. Second issue. Nets need to learn how to make some free throws. Other than Kyrie Irving, no one seems like they can make a damn free throw. Jared Allen missed those big free throws against the Timberwolves. And Spencer frickin' Dinwiddie, with a chance to ice the game against the Grizzlies, decides, I'm just going to miss a free throw. Oh, but that's not even the tip of the iceberg. The Nets, who, by the way, the Grizzlies have no timeouts left. So they get the offensive rebound. There's about 7 seconds left. Listen, I get it. You have a foul to give. You don't want them to run down the court and get an easy shot. Do you know how hard it is for a player to get the ball out of all this discombobulation and run down the court and try to figure out a good play and make the right pass to get someone an open shot to win the game. That's very, very hard. You know what's not as hard? Being able to inbounds the ball and set up a play. But NetsBoy, they had no timeouts. Every team in the NBA has a go-to play that they will run with 7 seconds left in the game, out of bounds. Yes, it was towards the backcourt they did it out of bounds, but they still had a play that the coach was able to call. It may not have been a timeout play, but it's a play that was practiced, and you could see it. That was a legit play that was practiced several times by the Grizzlies to get Jay Crowder an open three coming off. It was just basically a give and go, and nobody picked up. They were all following Morant, following him, and he just handed off to Crowder, who was just trailing. It's a classic play. It's a play that NBA teams do all the time in these situations, and that I'm sure they practice. So here's what I say. Why did you have to foul? You have a foul to give. I don't care. Put the pressure, make them try to get the rebound from one end of the basket, get across to the other end, and take off a good shot in 7 seconds. Make them have to do that. Don't freaking foul them and let them set up a play, even if they didn't have to call a timeout. That, to me, was another boneheaded move. So Dinwiddie missing the free throw, dumb, and then Joe Harris fouling him, dumb. And I know that was the play. You have a foul to give, stop it, we can set up the defense. But your defense has been crap. I just said that. So if your defense has been crap, you're not going to be able to guard and make the right play down the stretch. Make it tougher for them. You stop the clock, you're up by 2. I mean, that's like basketball 101. Why stop the clock? Let the game play out. Make them go from rebound and discombobulation to try to getting a shot off. So I was completely against that call. To me, that was another factor why they lost, because that was a beautiful play by the Grizzlies. And so dumb, bad free throw shooting, poor defense. And finally, the other biggest issue with the Nets is their offense goes stale and stagnant because they simply do too much isolation ball. It's like, let's just take turns. LeVert, Dinwiddie, Kyrie. LeVert, Dinwiddie, Kyrie. LeVert, Dinwiddie, Kyrie. That's all you see is the one-on-one offense, occasionally with a pick from Jared Allen or DeAndre Jordan. And every once in a blue moon, Joe Harris will come around and try to shoot a three. Do something else. That is not a good offense. And that is why in the loss against the Timberwolves, the Knicks coming back, even though the Nets won in the second game, and then the loss to the Grizzlies, teams went on like a 10-0 run, 12-2 run to get back in those games, because that's what the Nets do. They go isolation ball with those three guys, and when it works, which it does sometimes, and when it doesn't, the other team goes on a huge run. That is not a good offense, and Kenny Atkinson needs to figure it out, okay? He needs to do something different. And I have a recommendation for him. Now, I was going to show a video, but I don't know all the legalities of sharing videos from other sites and other YouTube channels without, giving the proper, credit and this and that. And I didn't have time to do it. Plus, it'd take a whole bunch of other time editing, and I don't have time to waste spending more than like an hour editing these videos. So I just skipped it. So I want you all, though, my viewers, to, after this NetsBoy episode, to go to YouTube and search the Weave offense. Okay? MBA Weave offense. Just type that in YouTube. The very first link is about a 2.5 minute clip of the Golden State Warriors executing this offense. Okay? This is the offense the Nets should do. If you don't know what the Weave offense is, it's very simple. It basically requires 3 ball handlers. Sound familiar? Basically, weaving in and out from the top of the key, handing the ball off, causing misdirection. What they're doing is every time they're coming and handing the ball off, they're requiring a defensive player to follow them, either make the decision to either switch or stay with the man. The more times this continues to happen, creates more confusion and the most increased likelihood that there's going to be a buckle in the defense. In addition to the weaving action, the center comes up and sets a pick, therefore causing even more separation with every weave. This then allows the defense to have to make a decision once again, am I going to stay and switch or stay with the player? A split-second hesitation allows the player to make the decision on whether he's going to roll to the basket, pass the ball, or hand it off to another weaving player who can get open for an open three, hence the Joe Harris play. This is the offense that Nets should run with Karis LeVert, Dinwiddie, and Kyrie Irving. Or how about LeVert, Dinwiddie, and Joe Harris? Or Kyrie, LeVert, Joe Harris? Or how about any combination? You could even do it with Taurean Prince because he has a good enough ball handles that'll work. When you have players who can handle the ball, this is the offense for you. And it causes misdirection. And it still allows the pick and roll offense to occur. And then you just have to trust that your players will make the right decision when there's a buckle in the defense. It's a great offense, and I'm not saying to run this offense every time down the floor if you're the Nets, but mix it in there. Whenever your offense starts going stale, you miss 3 or 4 shots in a row, throw it in there. Because what happens is the defenses get confused, they make mistakes, and you exploit it. So go ahead and look at that right after this episode. Once again, search the Weave offense, MBA Weave offense, and you'll see it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And you're going to be like, yo, why can't the Nets do it? Not to mention, when it executes well, it's like poetry in motion. It's one of the most prettiest looking offenses there are when it's done well. And hence why the Warriors did it, because the Warriors were all about the ball movement. And it also prevents that one-on-one ball dominant action that the Nets have been just doing too much of. NetsBoy, that's because of Kyrie. No, it's not. I mean, they're all doing it. Dinwiddie does it. LeVert does it. Just heck, I saw Taurean Prince do it. That's not who I want in isolation. So, point is, the Nets' offense is stagnant. Okay, so those are the 3 major issues I've seen so far: bad defense, poor free throw shooting, and stagnant offense at times, allowing teams to get back into it. At the end of the day, the Nets are 1-2, but their 2 losses came in overtime. They had a chance to win the first game, and honestly, they really had a good chance of winning the third game. So at the end of the day, the Nets really easily could have been 3-0 if they just were slightly better in any of those 3 categories. So I'm not too worried moving forward, but that being said, they got to get back on track. And it starts tomorrow or tonight, depending on when you see the episode, against the Pacers. Wednesday night, Pacers at home. Pacers have struggled so far this year. They're another team in the similar boat as the Nets. Playoff team last year, high expectations. Oladipo, the situation, is he going to play because of his health? Probably not. When the Nets just can't play. But they still were a pretty good team without him last year. This is the game the Nets need to win. I'm sorry, they need to win it. After losing 2 out of the first 3 games, they need to beat the Pacers. Because after the Pacers, they got the Rockets, very tough game, and the Pistons, who have looked very sharp to start off the season. And then they finally have the Pelicans, who I believe they should be able to beat them as well, but you never know, because after that, they have the Trailblazers. So that's why it's critical that they beat the Pacers, because other than the Pelicans game, the other 3 games after that could very easily be losses for the Nets. So if they lose to the Pacers, they could be 2-6 to start the season. That is really, really bad. They cannot be like that. They can't start off like that. So this Pacers game is huge. They got to beat this Pacers team. They got to beat the Pelicans, and then they're going to have to probably win one of the games against the Pistons or the Blazers for me to feel good. But all in all, it starts Wednesday night against the Pacers. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with me about the Brook Lopez jersey and that Kyrie should not be number 11, or if you just think I'm just being, irrational and way too much of a Brook Lopez lover, though I am, and I always will be. Let me know if you agree about my ideas about the offense and some of the things the Nets need to improve on, and let me know all that stuff. So, so let's wrap this up. Keep your eyes open for the next NetsBoy episode. Let's hope they get back on track. And until then, this is NetsBoy signing off.